For years and years, you see, South Africa has been struggling with load shedding. They had serious challenges when it comes to power generation. But of late, this problem seems to have been resolved. There hasn't been a lot of power outages in a very, very long time, or if there was any, it should have been limited. And the question is, how did they do it? The question, how was this problem resolved so that other African countries such as mine, Zimbabwe, can also learn from this? And the answer is right here.
Of course, this turnaround of Eskom is one of the few victories that we have as a society to celebrate of late. And I'm fascinated in how you and the leadership team have achieved this dramatic turnaround. Can you take us into, I believe in late 2023, when you became Eskom chair, what you were dealing with? Because it's easy to forget what a crisis we were in.
Yes. So Sizo, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to start in 2022 because this entire board was appointed in 2022.
Sure.
And I was part of a group of people, all of them new people, and were appointed all at the same time. The one thing that I would like to highlight about this point is that none of these people ever had raised their hands and said, I'm applying to be a board member in Eskom. None of us. And in fact, all of us were approached. And the questions that were asked of us, there was no question like, which political party do you belong to? No, there was none of that. And the people were chosen largely because of the work that they have done, their expertise, and I must say that I'm really, really honored to be working with such group of people that, and if you're looking from whichever angle, looking at corporate finance, we've got those people there. Looking at culture change, because most of the problems of Eskom revolve around people. You have people that are strong in that. Look at other issues linked to the engineering, technical. We've got many engineers, we've got lawyers there. So that's the group of people that was assembled. And the country was in a crisis at that time.
Absolutely.
If you will remember, the president had just come back from his trip, cut his trip short, where he was being hosted by the Queen. So he had to come back because South Africans were saying, hey, where are you? We're having a crisis here. You should seem to be having fun somewhere there. We need to come back. So he came back, and I think he came back on a Wednesday. I personally received a call from him on a Friday, and he said, can we meet tomorrow, Saturday, of course? And I had time to think, what is it that the president would be wanting to discuss with me? It's just landed. He's not my friend, so he's not going to be telling me stories about all of his trip. So this must have something to do with Eskom.
First of all, thanks to Dr. Sizwe Mpofu for having this interview, for asking these critical questions, bringing these amazing people so that we can all learn and understand. And you see, at a certain point, I would imagine that Cyril Ramaphosa understood that, you know what, I cannot keep on appointing my comrades and my friends to go out there and lead this organization, which is responsible for the power generation in the country of South Africa. I'm sure he realized at some point that he actually need technical people, the people with knowledge, people with skills, people with experience, people with a background, with a track record of performing and turning things around in different other organizations, people with skills and CVs that speak to their ability to do their own job and to deliver results that are required, because the situation was dire and critical. Not deploying your comrades into different ministries, into different positions, into different organizations of government just because they are your friends and because they are actually holding a gun at you and saying, you must give me something because I helped you campaign, I helped you put you in this position, so I must have a ministry. But in reality, these people are not capable of handling those ministries. They are not capable of running those ministries. That's why you end up with people who just steal. They are there to get the benefits and actually steal to make the matters worse. They cannot run the ministry, they cannot run the organization, and on top of that, they end up stealing. And you end up with this situation where a minister or a DG or a deputy minister is asked, what exactly do you do? What are you paid to do? And they have no idea. They are literally empty. They are not even smart enough to just at least know what they are supposed to do, even if they are not doing it, but at least just to know the job description. They are not even that smart. They don't know anything. They just don't have an answer of exactly what they're supposed to be doing in these ministries and these organizations. I'm sure he realized that, and I'm sure if he could do that in across all the other ministries and across all the other state-owned enterprises, a lot would change. A miracle would happen. An economic miracle would happen. And this has to be a very important lesson for countries such as Zimbabwe and any other African countries, because Zimbabwe suffers from the same disease. We need technocrats to run government, people who have the knowledge, the skills, and the experience to do these things, to understand the spreadsheets and everything that goes with running these ministries and these departments. But Zimbabwe also doesn't operate like that. It's always about the comrades. Because we fought the war together, I must have a position in government. I must have a ministry. I must be an MP somewhere. Somehow, they have to be fielded in somewhere, irregardless of their competency and qualifications or their ability to actually deliver, but they are still put in these positions, and in the end, what they're there for is the benefits, is the looting. They end up stealing the country dry and run the whole country to the ground. If people like Emerson Nagago could learn that lesson, that important lesson. Like, I always admire the Chinese system. I always talk about the Chinese system. You just don't wake up getting into government. You just don't wake up at a higher office in the land of China. You have to go through the ranks, and you have to be educated, and you have to deliver results in order to be promoted to a higher position. If you don't deliver, you are fired or you are jailed. You don't get promotion. You only get promoted when you actually deliver. That's how it should be. This is how we should operate. We should have technocrats, for the most part, running governments, not these useless. I mean, the most educated people in the country are being led by the dumbest and the dumbest of all. These old, tired comrades who know nothing, but they're just there because they feel entitled that they must be there because they fought for the country. These people were not supposed to be anywhere near civil government. Whenever we had independence, these people were supposed to retire and be honored for what they did in the liberation struggle. But we needed qualified technocrats to run government, the people who have the knowledge, the skills, and the experience to do so.